today we're going to be chatting with a new physio.
I think what you've got there is a long head of biceps tendonitis.
So there we go, boys. He reckons my shoulder injury is actually bicep tendonitis. You may be wondering, Morg, are you still competing? I am going to compete. Right, what's going on, boys? Today is the first day on the road to recovery. Hopefully, in 12 weeks' time, my shoulder, which has been fucking me over for 2 years, will be sorted. What basically Aaron has gave me is a 12-week training program. Now, the goal of this 12-week training program is basically to gradually reload the tissues which are injured. So for me, he's diagnosed me with bicep tendonitis and scapular dyskinesis. So scapular dyskinesis basically just means I can't control my scapula, and bicep tendonitis is basically an overuse of my bicep tendon. And if you didn't know, the long head of your bicep tendon actually inserts in your shoulder right next to your AC joint, which is why for so long I've been getting pain on that AC joint. So the aim of this program, like I said, is to just gradually build up the strength and the stability of my shoulder to the point where hopefully in 12 weeks I'll be able to start prep. We've got a warm-up, we've got to do 10 minutes of light cardio. So he said to do it on the cross trainer just because that warms up your thoracic spine. And then we've got 3 session prep exercises, and then we're going into the actual session. So he's put me on 5 or 6 reps in reserve, so a light intensity, which obviously I'm not used to. I'm used to going all the fucking way to failure, but obviously if I want to build up the strength and stability in my shoulder, then going all the way to failure without actual full control of the movements is not going to be helpful. It's going to be hard, you know, just like holding back and not going all the way there, but I've got to do it, man. So I'll show you the session and I'll explain obviously what I'm thinking about during each and every exercise. So first exercise is a side lying thoracic mobilization. So basically just mobilizing my thoracic spine, so that mid part of your spine. So you've got the bottom lumbar part, you've got the middle thoracic part, and then you've got the top cervical part of your spine. So we're just trying to basically mobilize that middle part of your spine, and then we're moving on to shoulder external rotations. Now we've got 3 different variations of these, which I will show you. The purpose of the banded ones was just to build up the strength of external rotation. External rotation is like that, that's internal, that's external. So now I've also got to do basically a static hold in a press up position, but with my shoulder blades protracted, and then also externally rotate at the same time and just hold that position for 2 minutes. So just to build up the strength in that serratus and the external rotators at the same time. And then the final prep exercise is a shoulder retraction exercise. So basically it's pretty much a lat bias pull down with a band, but trying your best to keep that shoulder fixed in place rather than letting it roll forward, which I struggle with on a pull down. So first proper exercise is a serratus push-up. So it's basically like a push-up plus. So you do a push-up, and then when you get to the top where you would usually stop, you're basically thinking about protracting your shoulder blades and pushing them as far forward as you can, which is basically going to turn your serratus on. So I'm just starting propped up against the bench first, and then I'll see if I can progress it to like on the floor. And then you've got Luke over there smashing the prime flat, which I should be on. So dumbbell press, it says neutral grip, but on the video the guy's not pressing with a neutral grip, so I'm just going with the normal grip, which I would, which is pretty tucked in. Anyway, 3 sets, 6 to 8 reps, light intensity. So I've literally got the 10 kilo dumbbells, and I'm just focusing on my scapula again, moving properly as it should, just going round my rib cage, no clicking, no anything like that. So I've been instructed to do them with my feet up on the bench. I'm not too sure why. I'm not sure whether that's to position my rib cage in a specific way. To be honest, I felt more stable with my feet up, so I don't know. But yeah, it felt better, controlling my scapula, really focusing on that tempo. 3-second eccentric, pausing in both end ranges, as I usually would, but even slower than I usually would, to be honest, under even more control. So we've got 3 sets here of a mofo row, which watching the video is basically just a lat bias pull down. Thinking about taking that lat through a full range of motion whilst keeping that shoulder, that scapula pinned in place. Not completely, like it will move to some degree. If you want to get nitpicky with things, it will move to some degree, but you're trying to limit that scapular movement. Now usually I'd struggle with actually connecting with the right side, so I'm really thinking about slowing things down, thinking about that scapula staying fixed in place and contracting that lower lat hard. We've got V-grip rows. I have not done these since I literally first started the gym. My optimal brain is saying, why the fuck are you doing these, Morgan? But I'm just following the plan to exact T. I'm trusting him, I'm letting him do his thing. He's programmed me, this training program. I've paid a lot of money, so I'm gonna follow it to a fucking T. And at 12 weeks, fingers crossed, I'm there. To be fair, right, we slag these exercises off. It doesn't feel that bad.
It's not bad, it's just, it probably would if you ran it up for a bit.
Yeah. It's not really targeting anything either. It's like your entire back. Now we've got dumbbell, prone, Y raises. 3 sets of 6, 1 minute rest in between. With this, just working the side delts in that fully shortened position. This is an exercise which I've struggled with for a while. I remember when I used to do Y raises, lying Y raises with a cable, my right shoulder was always a lot weaker and I just couldn't control that scapula again. So we're going with 2.5 kilo dumbbells and we'll see if we can actually control that. Those Y raises actually felt good, to be fair. You can feel it in your lower trap. Obviously as your scapula is upwardly rotating when you're in that Y position, you can feel your serratus, your lower trap, everything working just to stabilise my scapula. And now to finish we've got, I'm just going with a preacher curl, but to be fair, as you boys have seen in the past, I've noticed that when I do preacher curls, my shoulder feels stronger after, so hopefully that is the case again. And there we go, boys, first session complete. To be honest, wasn't the most enjoyable session of my life. Was not enjoyable at all, but if it works, it works. I'm putting my trust in Aaron, and hopefully in 12 weeks, we start prep, and then after we finish competing, hopefully the shoulder is still intact, and we can go 100% full pelt, and you will finally see the potential of Morgan Rushton and what he can actually do when he's got a full gaining phase with 100% shoulder, full steam ahead. Because I think pretty much since I've had social media, for the majority of the time anyway, I've had an injury, so you've not seen my full potential. Anyway, if you've made it this far into the video, then comment Kanye. If you did enjoy this video, drop it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.